Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. This is that 2005 Hilux we're doing an inspection on, just to do a bit of a, work out a plan of maintenance, plan of attack. 2005 with, 320,000 Ks. So, yeah, did you notice 2 fuel filters? We'll get to that in a minute. So we'll just run through a few things and a few tips while we're at it, besides the inspection, so that you can avoid some of these issues. See the 4 bolts under here? See there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't take those out for any reason really, then you won't. If they've got the original bolts, which is like the, I don't know, I'm trying to pick one of those that's original. Let's say the bottom left and the top right's original. The one on the bottom right with the extra washer, that's a non-original bolt there. Not sure about the other one up under there, but it doesn't matter. Point is, don't touch them. If you need to take the intercooler off, you undo the clamp. See that top clamp there on the rubber hose in the middle of the picture? You loosen that off, and what you do is, once you've removed everything, you just give it a gentle pull forward to pop it out from the other side over here, and a gentle twist, and you can put your heater hose tool down in between the rubber and the intercooler, just to crack it loose to get it free. But here we've got the remote reservoirs from the suspension. Okay, we've got some diff breathers going on, that's alright. Now, the oil leak that we noticed underneath in the previous video, if the videos come out in the right order, if I get that right, we did an inspection underneath this vehicle. You can see the oil coming down the back of the head. You can see there's quite a bit of it. There's that much of it, because oil's got cleaners in it, right? You can actually see the clean marks where the oil's kind of running down. It's coming along the side of the head at this, not the head, yeah, the head and the valve cover, all the way from the front. So it could be a cracked valve cover. The point is, you've got to clean and inspect the valve cover before you decide you're putting it back on. You need to have new seals in a lot of places, but sometimes you don't. This turbo's been replaced with an eBay special, now back to a genuine. Having problems with turbos since the big exhaust went on. I'll say it again, the turbo specialist told us that big exhausts allow overboost, and overboost wrecks turbos, okay? So that's what happens with these turbos. It's not really a coincidence most of the time. People tell us that. That's what we see. People tell us that, and then we monitor the situation and can confirm what they're saying is correct. That's what we see, right? In most cases where turbos have failed, it's a bigger exhaust, premature failure, regular failure. Obviously, if you've got a blocked oil pickup because you don't know about the injector seat issue, where people don't change them ever, and they go beyond their design durability amount of time, then that leaks, blocks the oil pickup. No oil for the turbo, you're going to have a problem as well. And of course, you just need those regular oil changes. A lot of people like to miss oil changes, so beware if you're buying a vehicle and it hasn't got that history there. You can have a fair idea by the look of how someone looks after their vehicle, the sort of condition and maintenance regime, what's been going on with it, right? So, and of course, if you get it hot, that means highway speeds, let it idle for a bit before you switch it off. The faster you go, the harder you work it, the longer you let it idle before you switch it off. I'm suggesting anything from nothing to about 2 minutes maximum. But if you come off the highway 110, 120, let it idle at least a minute, you know. Don't just come off and switch it off with the servo and fill it up, because that will cause you problems over time. Now, things like, all that exhaust soot, old flogged injectors, everything contributes to the durability of other components. That's something to think about. Just think about that, right? Airbox looks original, that's good. Typical busted clip on the wiring, on the MAF, so no surprise there. Aftermarket radiator, it was old and leaking or cracked or something. When something gets near 20 years old, I'd be not surprised it needs a radiator. My preference, if you can get a genuine for a reasonable price, then that's what you do, because here you got a situation of zip ties holding the bottle on, the bottle rubbing hard against the plastic being close to the drive belt. It's just, it's not a 4x4 Diesel, Prado, Hospital, Hilux, Hospital, wherever you want situation that you want to create. Okay, he wants to get in and have a go, that's good. He does a lot of his own maintenance, fits stuff up and whatever. But, become a client, get in the VIP group. That's what he's done now, so that he can watch some procedures. Particularly, he's had the injectors out, took it to someone that replaced one nozzle. We're talking about 320,000 K injectors. These injectors have got a number of wearing components in there, not just the nozzle. Some of the it's a whole long story, but some of the later injectors you might get away with changing nozzles and stuff like that, the reconditioning thing, but not the earlier ones. They need to be at least full DLC coated and you need to know they've been looked after, not returned in return boxes that get dropped and smashed around with fractured solenoids and stuff like that you can't see, right? So remanufacturing, in my opinion, doesn't work unless you carefully remove a set of injectors from a vehicle that's done 180,000 Ks that you know have never been removed, and they're still working fairly well, and you just want to do the nozzles and recoat them. Then that's something you could do, but you need to be specifically controlling that remanufacture situation. Repairing those injectors, if you like, is what I think. Otherwise, it's just a bit of a mess with all the different. It's just, let's not go into that in this. This is an inspection, right? Euro 3, so it's the early HILUX. It hasn't got the EGR cooler. So when you purchase your injector kit from me, and there's information in our playlist, how to buy my kits, if you hung around this long, the thing we need to know on the HILUXes, if it's just got this pipe, see the pipe, that shiny pipe in the middle of the picture, that big pipe, that's the EGR for the EGR flow. It hasn't got an EGR cooler. The later models have got a box there with coolant connected to it. You know, we're not a fan of the hose clamps as well, but you got to do what you got to do once you put the aftermarket radiator. See how it's sort of squishing, cutting into the hoses, whatever. This is the thing where we sort of just joke around and say we've turned it from a Toyota into a, like the old Holden Ford with the clamps. Yeah, the old Holden, mate. It's the old HQ now or something, you know, the Tirana, mate. Anyway, it's obviously got the short SCV. It's got some diff breathers added. We said that, but look at this. Two fuel filters. Two fuel filters are the same. I mean, okay, method in the madness. A previous owner did a lot of this, by the way. That vehicle was, a lot of it was like that. I think the advantage is, obviously, you've got a filter here. Now, let's just think this through. So the first filter, hang on. Yep, so that's got the sensor on it. So you've got, if you were to get water in here, you're going to get the light on the dashboard, and you've still got another filter. So that could be the thinking where they went, let's add an extra one. Hey, it's factory, so it's probably not going to create any problems where some more restrictive filters do. They're already about 5 micron. If this one picks up the worst of it, then this one, you know, so you kind of got, I don't know, I sort of get it a little bit. You kind of double the efficiency a little bit, and you haven't added anything aftermarket that's more or less restrictive type thing. You've got your factory light in place. I mean, I get it. It's kind of, I haven't seen that before anyway. Who else? Put in the comments if you've seen that before too. And I don't know whether you can buy aftermarket inserts. You may be able to buy cartridges that are different microns, but I don't know about that. So let us know in the comments for anybody that's interested as well, if you can. What else we got up here? We got missing, see on number 4 injector down the middle of the picture there, that clamp there, the bolt's missing. You need to have that bolt there, because what happens without that clamp there, the pipe vibrates around. This is where it comes back to the Toyota engineering. They did it for a reason. They didn't just do it for fun. You know, we'll just whack a few clamps here. All the pipes need to be secured, because diesel engine vibration, the pipe wobbles around. And that number 4 pipe there, you can be lucky. So you might say, oh, I haven't got the bolts on mine and I haven't a problem. I'm not here for luck, right? If you want to be reliable and not lucky, then you need to have that bolt in place so that, and there's actually, look at more closely, I think there's 2 bolts missing, because there's one, because that clamp actually goes upwards, does it? Anyway, I have to have a look. Hard to see at the moment. Euro 3, we don't see that many of them anymore, but they're bigger clamps, they're bigger bolts. What I do remember, they're a 12mm head, and from memory, I reckon there's one that goes into the clamp of the return line underneath that clamp. Does that clamp normally face down, or does it face up?
One face up, one face down.
That's right. Where's the other one? I can't see it. Oh yeah, that one there. That's what I was thinking about. Right. Yeah. No. So that's good. So it's just one bolt missing. Exactly right. Thanks for reminding me. See, lucky we've got an expert here, because mate, I'm getting old and rusty. Mate, I'm one of the dinosaurs, mate. You know, I don't know. Anyway, what else we got here? So the aftermarket radiator. So was that from eBay? The radiator, eBay. Do you remember how much it was?
90.
Just curious. 190 bucks. There you go. Bargain, mate. Look at that. Aluminium radiator for 190 bucks. That is a bargain. But just look what you get, right? So you've got the, you know, things are a little bit hard to bolt up when it went in, yeah? It didn't sort of line up too well. Maybe like the exhaust in the other video and stuff like that. So just be careful. Our thing is, yeah, I already pointed out that, yeah. You know, I mean, if they could make stuff, I mean, what a bargain it would be if they could just make stuff and put things in the right place so that it would line up and the bolts went in. It's kind of like, you know, the way they do things, you know. Anyway, we're just about there. What else? Anything else we can show on this one before we go? Just having a look around. Look, that's over full, the coolant situation there. That's why it's all messy everywhere. the full line, you can see where it is in the picture there. Everybody can see that, can't they? Right? You've got full and low. I don't mind if it's up to the seam. Right, the seam's this plastic here. Right, you can see the full lines down there. Right. Let's just do that again, just to do it properly. Seam, full line, low line. Right. So yeah, as long as it's around the seam. Once you go past the seam, as it gets hot, it's just going to push it out this hole, and then it sort of sprays everywhere, and you don't know whether you've got a leak or a problem or not. So, bada bing, that's it. I reckon this vehicle needs a set of air horns. Because, is this meant to have 2 horns and there's one missing? Or some Hiluxes only have 1 maybe? I don't know, I think I'm going to start taking more notice. I think some of them have got, there's another one over here usually, but this one might not have got it. Anyway, that's the video, guys. Bada bing. Hope you learned something out of that. Hit the like button and bada boom. Catch you on the next one. See ya.